Welcome to the Maintenance Diaries podcast. Here are your hosts, Michael and Fred.
Let's go! Maintenance.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the Maintenance Diaries. Once again, we are on episode six, man. It's good to be here. Hope that you guys had a great day, having a great week thus far.
And a great month.
I'm doing good. And a great month, bro.
That's right.
My boy.
Mike, what it do, bro? Welcome back to the game.
Welcome back, man. Good to be back. Good to be back. Good to be back. Man, we got a special one for you guys today. And you're definitely going to love it. You're definitely going to enjoy it because this is a topic that is widely talked about.
Mm-hmm.
And now we are touching it from our perspective and from the perspective of the industry that we're in. You know what I mean?
That's right. We're going to be diving into the mental and emotional load carried by maintenance techs, cleaners, leasing agents, property managers, and supervisors.
Yeah, we call it invisible work because it's the part that no one sees, and the part that no one sees is the burnout, the delays with tasks not being completed at a timely manner because of a hiccup. It's a lot that goes into running a successful property.
Right.
It's a lot of moving parts. So we're here to dive into the mental and emotional toll that it takes on us as employees.
That's right. So let's talk about what people don't see. Whether we're fixing pipes or dealing with an angry resident, it all takes a toll on us.
Man, it all takes a toll. And to be honest with you, it's not just maintenance. It's also leasing agent, as you mentioned earlier, supervisors, property managers, assistant property managers, even cleaners as well. Everybody goes through this.
That's right. And I think like the most important, when I say most important, but the ones that really like take the verbal lashing or take the emotional, that has, well, honestly, like the person that has to really focus on most of their mental health the most, I think will also be leasing agents for sure. Leasing agents and, property managers and assistant managers, because those are who always in contact with the residents at all times. They speak to them whenever they are disgruntled.
That's true. And before we continue, because you say the front office get it most of the time, a lot of the time they will be disgruntled about certain things. But one of the main components in the residents' lives that they are disgruntled about is when some of them are default on their rent, right?
Right.
It's not the assistant property manager's fault that you are defaulting your rent, or it's not anyone from the staff for that matter.
It's facts.
That is a responsibility that's on you when you sign that contract. So taking your grievances out with anger on the property staff is not going to do no good
at all.
And yeah, honestly, the leasing office, the entire leasing office, would be more prone to help a resident if they are more polite and more cordial. Call and talk to them, be respectful. Don't be rude and calling names and bashing and doing, doing the most.
Yeah, because you can always get your point across without having to, call a person out of their name.
Yeah.
Raise your tone with them. We're all adults at the end of the day, so it's always best to just, say what you need to say without being disrespectful. And honestly, the leasing agents and property managers and assistant managers, they all have empathy for our residents because
they do.
They understand like we can all fall on hard times at any time. and
Sure can.
there's not a lot that they can do, because at the end of the day, they still have to run the company that's controlling your building, that's running the building. So, they'll do whatever they can to, kind of help with certain things, but a lot of that stuff is usually out of their hands, especially when you do fall behind on certain things. They can sometimes give you like, take some of the fees away in order to catch you back up and stuff like that. But most of the time, some of that's out of their hands, and they can empathize with you and listen to you, but there's not really much they can do. And residents coming in and downing them like that, it doesn't help. It doesn't help at all. So, we're going to get back into that in a moment, but I want to talk about like the constant on-call duties and emergencies, how that takes a toll on the mental health of the maintenance techs and supervisors.
Yeah. Honestly, on-call takes a mental toll on maintenance techs and supervisor, because the supervisor and maintenance technician all take part in the on-call process, right?
Right.
And side note, every supervisor for the apartment property, or the apartment industry, I should say,
right,
supervisor should not be on call at all.
I agree with that. That is, I've been saying that for years. Like, why on earth is the supervisor on call? Like, he already has enough to deal with on his plate as it is.
Yeah.
And then for him to, take a call, it's just disrespectful in my opinion, because, he's worked his way to that position just like a property manager does.
Right.
And they don't work weekends.
Yeah.
So they leave that on the either the assistant manager and the leasing agents. But a supervisor should be able to not be able to take calls, because that rule, that kind of a side note, but the rule that one body per 100 units is in today's time right now, it's not fair. It's disrespectful.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And I know guys right now that are in that role that are working at a 97 unit building, and it's just them. It's only them.
Being the supervisor, the maintenance technician, and the groundskeeper at the same time.
Just imagine, you're always on call 24/7. You can probably take a day off, right? But you can't. You're always on call.
Always on call, man.
Just think about like what we have to deal with being on call. What are some of the things that hinder us in our daily lives when we're on call? What do we take a step back from whenever we become on call?
I'll answer that question, but before I answer that question, I'll say this. If every supervisor have to participate in being on call, then every property manager should work on weekends.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Make it fair across the board. That's
true, because the supervisor is on call and he's working on weekends, because we still got trash to do. We still got the pool to check.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I think it's kind of like you said, it's a glorified maintenance technician.
That's all it is.
And when you make it to that position, it does kind of take a mental toll on you, because you're like, all right, I've made it this far. I shouldn't be doing certain tasks now. Now it's for my techs. Right.
But to answer your question, so the first thing, the first mental stressor, I should say, it would be the anticipation and the suspense, right? And what do I mean by that? Let us say let us just say James, right? Let's say James is on call right now.
Right.
And his on call is going to end on Friday, right? I know I'm next up in line for on call, right?
Yeah.
He can express his frustration to me about his experience being on call for that week or 2 weeks, right?
You're right.
And I'm taking all of that in, and I am anticipating how my 2 weeks or 1 week of on call will be.
Put you on edge.
Right. So now my mind is coming up with worst case scenario. What if? And the thing that I'm anticipating and the scenarios that keeps coming to my mind,
right,
it didn't even happen yet. It's only Monday, but I got to wait until Friday, you know what I'm saying, to take that on call. But because of the stressful experience that he's having, it is now poured over into me.
Mm-hmm.
It's poured into me. So I have to anticipate and keep my fingers crossed and,
Right.
hope and pray that my experience being on call will not be as stressful as his, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that is one part of it. The second part is being on call, you have to get up. It could be 10 p.m., it could be 12,
Mm-hmm.
it could be 1 a.m., it could be 2, 3 in the morning. And I've had situations where I was up at 1 o'clock, went out, what I'm saying, handled it on call, came back home, got into bed. As soon as I started to sleep, got another phone
Yeah.
call. I have to get right back up and
Oh yeah.
go right back out. Right.
They don't
And
talk about those repeaters that
yeah,
the moment you make it back home, it's another one. You're
not,
like,
yeah,
man, why didn't this happen whenever I was already out there?
exactly, exactly. And also during the week, bro, when you're working and doing your job,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of the things that the resident call for on the on-call emergency line, it can get handled during that week.
Yeah,
I don't know why you wait until the weekend then to say,
that
oh,
is
let me
true.
call somebody out away from their family
That
to
is true.
come and fix this problem that could have been rectified early on
Mm-hmm.
in that week. You know what I mean?
I know what you
So
mean.
that too can be stressful within itself, bro.
Right.
And some maintenance technicians, they have family, bro. They have kids that they need to take care of. Some of them have newborn babies,
Yeah.
and they're already having a battle with sleep, right? And parental duties. Well, I'll watch the kid from 8 a.m. to 1, from
Mm-hmm.
8 p.m., sorry, to 1 a.m.
Right.
And then you can take second shift from 1 a.m. to 2 a.m. or whatever the case is.
Right.
So in the midst of all of that, you still gotta get up, go out there,
Mm-hmm.
put on your best self,
Yeah,
put the S on your chest, go out there and be all things to the resident.
that is true.
And sometimes the resident can be disgruntled and they can try to be rude and disrespectful. And because for the sake of your job, you cannot respond, in a way that you want to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that you should respond in a unprofessional way, but
Yeah.
there's ways that you can do things. But because of the strict policy
Right.
of the company, you can't say anything. You can say, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and do what you have to do. And residents can tell you what they want to tell you, and then you have to go back home
Yeah.
and take all of that stress that you just got from a resident into your home. And your home is your safe place, right? It's your place of peace
Mm-hmm.
in a world of chaos. So now I'm bringing chaos into my home. When I get to the door, I have to pretend that nothing happened. And that is just adding stress and anxiety to me,
Right.
right? And with that said, residents should not have the right to talk to employees any way they want to.
Yeah.
They should not be disrespectful. They have no right to do that because
Mm-hmm.
when you sign your lease in the contract, it didn't state that you can disrespect any employees, right?
Yeah.
You're not supposed to. But then this is where I think things can be hypocritical in my view, because residents can say what they want to employees, right?
Right.
They can curse them out and call them everything else except a child of God, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the employee can't do nothing because they will lose their job.
Yeah.
But if the employee do that to the residents, if the shoe was on the other foot in reverse, then we would lose our job.
Mm-hmm.
So why is it that you guys are allowing residents to cast disparagement on us?
Because
And we have to take that and then go home to our families, and that takes a toll on our overall health, bro.
I think it really has to do with it being their home where they live. So
Mm-hmm.
they feel like that all of that is their personal space,
Yeah.
and we're just bodies working within their personal space.
Mm-hmm.
So they feel like they can kind of jump off the ledge a little bit and,
Right.
and get a little
Right.
feisty with
Right. Right.
the front office staff,
Yeah.
because they're still at home at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I'm in my house and you're the leasing agent and you're on my porch. And I can come and talk to you this way because you're on my porch now. And, however I may feel, I feel like I can bring it out on you because I'm still in the confines of, quote unquote, my home.
Right.
So I think that's where that leads. And, it also leads to, some sort of like self-entitlement, of course.
It is definitely self-entitlement because like you mentioned about, residents are already at home. So now
Yeah.
they feel that because you're in their space, they can talk to you however they want to because they pay rent.
Yeah.
And even though you are in your home and in your space, I am at my place of work. That's
Right.
my job. I can't come to your job and do the same thing to you on your job
Right.
that you are doing to me on my job. So when you are doing that to me and I can't say nothing, and now I have all this anger and stress and I want to let it out, but I can't,
Yeah.
you are you are jeopardizing my job
Mm-hmm.
and you are contributing to the negative effects of our overall health
Right.
because it's not healthy for me
No.
and it's not healthy for you. And companies do not pay none of their employees to be bombarded
Oh no, not
in
at
a
all.
disrespectful way by some residents. You know
Like
what I'm saying?
if they heard some of the things that these residents say to
Yeah.
the leasing staff or the property managers and assistants, like they'd be like taken back. They'd be like, this is absurd. Like there's no way somebody should talk to you in the manner that they just did.
Yeah.
And residents will say things, and I don't think one time I've ever heard one come back and apologize to a
Yeah.
leasing agent like, hey, I'm sorry, I was upset, I took it out on you, I was wrong. None of them has ever came back and said, I'm sorry. And I think that's kind of messed up because if you're gonna raise your voice at these at the staff
Mm-hmm.
and you're in the wrong, admit it. Come back and once you cool down, just admit it. And sometimes I'd curse you back out if I would. That's probably why I don't work in the front office because I'd be the one to just tell it like it is real quick.
The front office is not the front office is not a place for me to be in.
No.
I'm not gonna curse somebody out, but I can go from zero to
Yeah,
100 like that,
like
right?
it's no problem.
So because I know who I am, I know my place in the company, right?
Yeah,
I can aspire to be in the front office, and I have the capabilities to
yeah.
be a part of the front office.
We got up the
We
capabilities for
definitely
sure.
do, and we have the qualifications
Mm-hmm.
that is necessary to be there because now we're on both sides of the aisle. We have knowledge from the back office and the front office now, right?
Right.
But the things that leasing agents, property managers, assistant property managers go through on a daily basis
Yeah.
from some residents, not all residents,
Yeah. Not all.
but the
There's
ones who
there's some.
are, yeah, the ones who are rude and disrespectful and disruptive, bro, they don't deserve that.
Right.
The companies do not pay them enough to be bombarded like that,
Mm-hmm.
bro.
So we from constant on call duties and emergencies.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about high turnover, low expectation. And when I say that, I'm coming from a standpoint of, in the maintenance world, we do
Yeah.
have a high turnover rate.
Yeah.
Like we are tremendously understaffed, honestly.
Oh, for sure.
And
For
the
sure.
appreciation, like we've been saying from episode 1, the
Mm-hmm.
appreciation is it. They make it seem like it's there, but it's not there.
No, it's not. It's not.
And just having to deal with that, knowing that you can be working next to somebody,
Yeah.
and next thing you know, that person can up and go because they don't want to take the BS that's going on, like the money, not making enough money,
Yeah.
not getting any stipend on their rent. Saying if they're staying on property,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes 20% with companies, sometimes 40% with companies,
Right.
maybe 50%.
Right.
And they feel like they had enough. So dealing with all of that, the high turnover rate, and then the
Mm-hmm.
low appreciation, and having that on your plate plus the on call. The other thing too is quotas. What I know some what expectations they throw on us. But the expectations of us having to turn apartments. Sometimes like we get stressed from a person wanting to move in right like tomorrow, and we got a unit that had just moved out, and we still need 3 days to turn it,
and we got to go in there and do it in
trying to
2.
go in there and get it turned in day 2.
Yeah.
Like how many of those you've seen in your career so far?
Unrealistic expectations.
Exactly.
Yeah. Man, I've seen quite a few of those, bro. There's one unit that, we happen to board all the list of units that we have to walk for the week, and we would go and start knocking them out, according to the closest moving date, right? Those are the important ones first. Then you have the others that have a later moving date. So I'm like, okay, I'll tackle these 2 days from now because this is not until next week, right? But these we have for this week. Let me go knock them out. So you finish all of that stuff. Then you have like 10 work orders to do. And now you're sorting through them. And a leasing agent can come and say, hey, this person called and I know they were supposed to move next month on the 20th, but they want to move 2 days from now. And I try to tell them that they can't, but they're so hesitant. And now we just let them do it.
Yeah. And it's because they need the lease.
And
they need to get that occupancy up. That's another
thing
that adds on stress. Getting occupancy up.
Yeah.
How stressful is that?
So a lot of times, like for me as a maintenance technician, most times you really can't blame the leasing agent because the RPM is getting stress from corporate, from the higher ups, because RPM they are in corporate too.
They are corporate, yeah.
But their bosses are giving them unrealistic expectations that they have to meet. And even though they know that, hey, this might be a uphill battle, they will still try to do what they can to please their boss, right? Knowing that it is sometimes highly impossible. So now they're going to pass their level of stress and anxiety down to the property manager.
Yeah.
The property manager pass it down to the assistant and the leasing agents, and then it comes down to us, right? So the stress can come from the top all the way down, right? And then the supervisor, he got the stress passed down from the property manager. Now he got to take that stress to the cleaners.
Yeah.
Because now the cleaners are not supposed to clean this unit until next week. But now the person want to move in 2 days from now. So they got to go clean a unit while we are in the unit, turn in the unit at the same time. Everybody is just crossing paths.
We've been on top of each other.
Yeah.
And then all of these cleaners, man, like just while they're cleaning, we're doing punch work and just trying to get in and get out so everybody can be happy at the end of the day.
And that is stressful. And I've had my fair share of that, bro.
Oh yeah. So so that prompts a question that I want to ask, like, what's one thing you've dealt with that no one ever talks about?
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. One thing I've dealt with. For me personally, I would say anxiety. I've also dealt with depression too, you know, because this podcast is about being open, being transparent, and being honest, right? And we want to have honest conversations. And nobody is not Superman or Superwoman, and you will not always be on your A game. You will have those off days, and I've had many of those, bro. And experiencing depression, anxiety, and dealing with the stress that comes with the job sometimes, added to all of those stress and stuff that you deal with, it can be a conundrum, right? And now you're trying to put pieces of a puzzle together. And some of the pieces are not from that puzzle. It is from different puzzles. And you're trying to make everything make sense. So while still maintaining your sanity. And the fact that you have to still go to residence home with a smile on your face
Yeah.
and pretend that everything is okay, but on the inside you are dying.
Oh.
You are. It is chaos, right?
I am with you on that one because
Yeah.
I've dealt with that.
Yeah.
Like you're dealing with personal stuff in your life.
Mm-hmm.
And 99, not 99, but maybe like 90% of all of our issues come with, has it's been attached to money. So
Yeah. Yeah.
we're not making enough, and there's things that
True.
we need to take care of in our personal life that
Mm-hmm.
kind of bleeds over into the job. So while we're at work trying to figure those things out, and then then pulling on more stress of having to take on calls and do all of this and talk with residents and be in their homes and put a smile on their face. Once we're
Mm-hmm.
done with that, we're right back out on our phones trying to, like you said, piece those things together
Yeah.
and deal with it when we get home.
Right.
But it's like no matter what, they always say, like, you don't bring your problems to work. But
Mm-hmm.
I call BS on that
Don't mix
because
home life with work life.
you can't really do that. Like,
That's true. That's
when
true.
you leave home, your problems are here in the back of your head. So it's hard for you to show up at work and not think about it because you still got to deal with it when you get home. And in me personally, like, I try my best to kind of separate the two, but
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, I'm at work trying to figure some things out too. You know what I mean? And I probably haven't dealt with depression maybe on your level,
Right.
but I have dealt with depression. I've had felt days where, like, I'm like, what is going on? Like,
Yeah.
I really don't
Yeah.
know what I'm doing. Why is everything just falling apart and
Mm-hmm.
these things are happening? And they don't take those into accountability. Like they said, those are the things that people don't talk about. They don't talk
Yeah, they
about
don't.
the mental health of what we deal with on a daily basis. And I think that's a great thing that right now in this episode that we can bring all of that to the forefront to let people know, like, hey, we're human at the end of the day.
Yeah.
We have lives just like you.
Uh-huh.
You have to go to your job. Our jobs is in your home.
Right.
And we got personal lives outside of this, so
We do.
we still have things that we have to deal with on a
Yeah.
daily basis too. So just show us a little empathy and a little compassion, and talk to us properly, and we can
Facts.
all get along.
Facts. Facts, bro. Yeah. This is a good episode because it is highlighting, the mental stress in at your place of work, right?
Right. And we've all heard what that golden word, toughen up, that's part of the job.
And that's what it's gonna get to. That's part of the job, and well, that's why the company pay you to do this and to do that and to do this and to do that.
Yeah. The
But
company does pay you.
if you, not enough.
Facts. We can
Because-
always say it's not enough, for sure.
Bro, for maintenance techs and leasing agents,
Yeah.
it's not enough.
No, it's not.
It's not
It's
enough,
not.
bro. You know what I'm saying? Because back to a point that you allude to, you said about mixing work life and home life.
Yeah.
The home life and the work life coincide with each other because you were at work trying to figure out some things at home.
Mhm.
And the things you're trying to figure out at home, not sometimes, but some of it is related to your job because of finances. So your job is only paying you this much, and you have to try and make $1 out of 15 cents.
You got to squeeze it.
You're just getting paid
a nickel out of a dime.
Yeah,
for
you're
sure.
getting paid to survive.
Mm-hmm.
And we are living in a society where we are living to work.
Yeah. Everything is.
There's no proper work-life balance.
It's like the cost of living that we've been seeing so far since
Mhm.
the pandemic. Everything has just been going higher and higher.
Yeah.
And pay hasn't even went anywhere near that. It hasn't even gone up 1%, honestly, in
Yeah.
my opinion, because they're still paying, maintenance techs what they were paying them, 10 years ago.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. But we need to do something about it. And there's a lot of employees, maintenance techs and leasing agent and property managers as well. They would, because they are afraid or they might feel ashamed to express their emotions and
Yeah.
frustrations, you know what I'm saying? it can cause them to go home and lash out on their significant other, right?
Yeah.
Or lash out on their kids.
Hmm.
And the people at home don't deserve it, but because you're in an environment at work where it's not conducive to your
Yeah.
mental sanity and your overall health,
Hmm.
you cannot bring your home life to work, but it's okay for you to take your work life home.
Right.
The work environment is creating that stress. So when
Hmm.
you take it home to your place of peace,
Yeah.
it turns into your place of chaos because there's no peace nowhere.
Right.
There's no work life balance.
I can contest to that because,
Hmm.
and I'm sure I'm not the only one, and
Yeah.
we all deal with it. So, like, when I've had a stressful day at work, when I go home, I don't want to talk. I don't want to, and I don't want to do anything. I just want to sit still and just kind of be in a quiet space and be to myself. And once I get out of that space, then I'm like, okay, now I've calmed down and I've relieved this stress,
Yeah.
and now I can actually talk to my significant other.
Probably
That's
go home.
crazy.
Hey, babe, how are you?
And he's like, yeah, he's just like, you're
A
like, I
few
don't feel like
hours
talking right
later.
now. And then
Hey, babe, how was your day?
yeah, that no, real talk. And it's
Yeah.
been like that. Like,
Yeah.
not saying like a lot of times, but there are times where you go home and I'm like, hi, how you doing? And I don't want to say anything. Like, everything was okay. I'm gonna go over here and sit down. I'll talk to you in a little bit.
I just need to decompress for a
Yeah,
while.
that's the part I was
Yeah.
looking about
Yeah.
or thinking about. Um,
Yeah.
and also too, Mike. Let's talk about some the stigma of speaking up about mental health on the job.
Yeah. We were just alluding to that, and to expound on it a little bit more. Um, for maintenance technicians, right?
Right.
Maintenance technicians wouldn't speak up as much as the leasing agents.
True.
The leasing agents, they would talk to each other about how they feel mentally, emotionally, physically, right?
Right.
For maintenance technicians, especially the men
Hmm.
and black men,
Yeah.
because that is a stigma
Yeah.
in the to talk about mental health is like taboo in
Yeah.
the black community, right?
Absolutely.
And we were we were raised to, hey, be strong, and big boys don't cry,
Hmm.
and men don't cry, and you're supposed to be strong, and whatever you're going through, just get over it and move on.
Right.
Life goes on. You fight the good fight and all of this stuff, right?
Hmm.
That sounds so good. And now you are living two different lives. You're at home, you're trying to be that strong man,
Yeah.
not to be, not to show any kind of
Emotion.
vulnerability
Yeah.
or emotions.
Yeah.
But then when you go to work, on your way to work, you cry your eyes out. And when you reach to work, you wipe your eyes and put your glasses on, and man, what's going on, bro?
Yeah.
Stop
That's
stop
true.
capitalism.
But honestly, like, as men,
Hmm.
honestly, like, um we kind of talk to each other in like a coded, I would say it's kind of like a coded language. Like,
Yeah.
we don't completely say like our true emotions, but we kind of allude to certain things where we know, like, okay, yeah, my boy going through something, you know what I'm saying? So, you just kind of let them talk and kind of
Hmm.
get it off, you know what I'm saying, without getting into the emotional aspect of it. It's like, for me personally, it's like
Yeah.
I can talk to one of my friends and be like, man, I got this going on, I've
Right.
got this, and it just
Hmm.
helps to just talk about it so I can get it out. You know what I mean? And it's not like I'm going to my friends and just, man,
Cry me
I'm
a river.
sad and all of this. No, it's not that. It's just like, bro, this is what I'm dealing with. You know what I'm saying? If you got any words of any advice you can offer,
Uh-huh.
you know what I'm saying? I'm all ears.
That's a good thing, but a lot of men in the apartment industry, once again, because that's the industry we're in.
It's
So I
blue collar
gotta,
job. Yeah.
yeah, I have to go back there. A lot of them, they would speak in code, but they wouldn't fully express how they
Yeah.
feel because they are worried about what the person that they're talking to is going to say about them
Mm-hmm.
or think about them, or or however they're going to perceive them when they're not around,
That's
when they're
true.
not present, right? So
Well, yeah, you're right, because we don't
Yeah.
really talk to our coworkers like that.
yeah,
When I say I'm talking to I'm talking to my friends. Like
Mhm.
I'm not talking to my coworkers. I'm never gonna like. I'll let them in on certain things in my life, but they're not letting on a lot of
no, don't
what's
open the
going
door
on
all the
behind.
way.
I'm never opening that door up
If
to
I'm
let
having a
them know.
conversation, it's gonna stick to the job.
Yeah, it sticks to the job. It's like,
Yeah.
because that's what we're here to do at the end of the day. Like
Yeah.
you said, we're men, and this is
Mhm.
toughen up. You got to have thick skin.
Mhm.
So,
But at the same time, it is okay not to be okay, and everybody
mm,
should know that that is a right they
yeah,
have. You have the right to feel okay. You have the right to feel not okay.
agreed.
We are human beings, man. So it's okay not to be okay, because pretending that you're okay all the time is gonna only go but so far.
Right.
Whenever the pressure reaches that boiling point and there's nothing you can do about it, then you would do worse damage to yourself than than preventing that chaos now.
Yeah, but Mike, but you got to understand too. Like it's hard for us to even express that type of
Mhm.
emotion of saying like, hey, I'm not
Yeah.
okay, because
Yeah.
it's like you said, it's that fear of being seen as weak. Like
Yeah, fear
who
of criticism
who
too.
wants to be weak, bro? Like I'm not saying like it's a bad thing. Well,
Right.
it's not a bad thing to be vulnerable, honestly.
Mhm.
But like when you're on your job and you're doing certain things, like who wants to be seen as the person that can't handle
Yeah.
what's going on in front of them?
Can handle stress
Yeah,
and
like
pressure.
we
Yeah.
strive to be leaders. You know what I mean?
Right.
In the maintenance field, it's all about solving problems, taking care of issues, and when you feel like you can't solve your own problems in your personal life, it does take a toll on you, because you're like, dang, I know how to fix this AC, I know how to fix this,
Right.
and now I got something going on in my personal life, and
Yeah.
it's like I can't fix this at the moment.
The reason why that is, I'm not gonna put this on the environment of the job,
Yeah,
because there's a saying: charity begins at home.
right,
Everything begins at home before you take it elsewhere, right?
right.
So at home, if you were raised in an environment of not showing emotions, you haven't seen your parents showing emotions, and their parents have not seen their parents showing emotions and express their feeling, then that, I call it a curse, bro. That curse
Yeah,
can just
yeah.
pass down through generation.
Yeah, it's a generational
Yeah.
curse of
Yeah.
trauma, basically.
Yeah. So all that trauma that they stored, then some parents wouldn't know how to parent their kid the way they should be parented because of that stored trauma. And now you don't know how to unwrap all of that
Mhm.
and make it make sense and
Right.
just find some peace within that storm,
Hmm.
because you never had a figure that you look up to show that side of them,
Hmm.
and all they shows is strong side. Now you believe that you always have to be strong, always have to man up.
Yeah.
And it just keep adding more stress, adding more stress, adding more stress, and it just keep passing up from generation to generation. So now it passed down to you, and you're at your place of work, right?
Hmm.
And you are a bottle of chaos, bro. And when you go home, you wouldn't talk to your significant other about it, because I don't want to feel less than a man.
Yeah.
I want to be a man. I want to be, but nah, you're just faking it.
Yeah. So
Because at the end of the day, it can ruin relationships,
yeah.
not in the home, but on the job, in every aspect of your life with your friends.
Hmm.
It
So
can
what
ruin
can
relationships.
change though if we normalize having these conversations,
Mm-hmm.
and allowing men to kind of let it be known when they're not okay. Um, what how would that look now on the job when you can go in and be like, hey, I'm not 100% today, and when we get to that point,
Mm-hmm.
how does that change the dynamic of you know how everything works in unison to you being healthier on the job?
It starts from the top. It starts from the top because once again, like I said earlier, we are living in a society where you live to work,
Right.
and they push this narrative of if you work hard, you will succeed. But
Yeah.
if you work hard and you're underpaid, you will never succeed.
Yeah.
You will always be a blue collar slave.
That's what it is. That's true.
And also, a lot of companies would have they would have certain benefits like mental health
Mm-hmm.
benefits and whatnot. Um, they would have all these stuff listed on the website,
Mm-hmm.
but it would be tucked away in a corner, and you don't even know like, hey, can I take a mental day because I need a break or whatnot?
Let me stop you there.
Yeah,
How many mental days should you think a employee should have per month?
4. The reason why I say 4, every employee should have a mental day a week.
But if you're saying 4, that's one.
That's one a week.
One day a week,
Mhm.
right? But you already have, and this is just me, you know,
Playing devil's advocate.
that part. You already have, you know,
The
2
weekends?
days off. No, you just got 2 days off. So now if you're saying you're getting 4 days off a month, and that's 1 day off a week. Now you have 3 days off a week. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So these companies are not going to want to give you that a mental health day for once a week, and also allow you to have 2 days off.
So the 2 days off, it would be the weekends, which would be Saturday and Sunday. Some people work 6 days a week, some work
Yeah,
a full 7, right?
right.
But Saturday and Sunday should not count because those are the only 2 days that you have to complete all the chores and all the personal things you have to
Yeah.
do. Because from Monday to Friday, all of the hours that you really need to get things done,
Mm-hmm.
your place of work is taking all of those hours away from you.
Yeah,
So by the time you go home, it's to prepare for the next day.
yeah,
So you really have no time to sit down and process anything, right?
that's true.
You just got to go, 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 go.
Yeah.
And you think that you're going somewhere, but I'll reference this again, like a reference in another episode. You're in a hamster's wheel,
Mm-hmm.
going in a circle, leading to nowhere, right? So every employee should have at least, if not 4 days, make it 2 days a month.
Okay.
Starting.
So it gives them like kind of like a 3-day weekend.
Mhm.
Because like with maintenance techs, when we're not on call, we got weekends off, of course.
Yeah,
And then that gives us a time to take maybe a Monday or a Friday off. So that gives us 3 days.
yeah.
Leasing agents, they don't get those weekends because they have to come
They
in
have
and
to
work.
come in, right?
So, you know, those would be mainly through the week, of course. But even with that, even with you getting those mental days,
Hmm.
um, and they're paid, of course.
Right.
What even with the mental days that we have now, I think we only get like what, one mental day a year. I'm not really sure because I didn't look into the
Mhm.
blueprint, but I know there is a mental health day that we're allowed to take, right? Um, doesn't, you know, companies encourage their employees to take mental health days? Because even when I hear people from different countries, like people in Europe and stuff, they talk about like we are allowed to take mental health days
Yeah,
and get paid for it.
yeah. I have family that lives in Europe too,
Companies encourage them.
and that is true. Yeah, that is
Yeah.
true. And once again, it is the capitalist society that we live in, bro.
Of America.
Yeah, the capitalist society that we live in, we are all slaves to our job.
Yeah.
There is no work life balance. It's just work, 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 work,
It's
work.
an illusion, in my opinion.
It is an illusion.
Like a lot of, like when you see companies like on their Facebook pages and on their LinkedIn's and everything,
Mhm.
everybody's, you know, glamorizing, we got work life balance.
Yeah,
Honestly, I don't see it. Like it looks good in the picture and it looks
true.
good in a quote, but when you actually are at the job and you're with the leasing staff and you're with the maintenance staff and y'all are actually really like seeing what's going on and how each other is dealing with certain stress, you can really tell there is no work-life balance.
It looks like it
none.
behind in a photo, right behind the camera.
But why fake it?
Yeah, why fake it?
Talk about it and let these companies know, like, hey, you are promoting work-life balance, but honestly, we're not getting work-life balance.
You're promoting it, but you're not enforcing it.
Yeah.
You're not making it mandatory that we do have a work-life balance.
Exactly.
Right? And that is one of the benefits of the pandemic, right?
Right.
One of the benefits of the pandemic is that a lot of people realize how stressed they were and what caused all the stress.
Right.
And a lot of them had power in their hands to say, hey, I am not going to come into the office 5 days a week, or I'm not going to take this job.
Yeah.
You know, I want this job instead because this is more beneficial for me mentally. Because anywhere you call your work home, right, it should benefit you not only with the benefits that they give, but it should benefit you with how you perform. It should benefit you in the in the mental capacity to be cognitive, right?
Right.
And it should also benefit you when it comes to your peace, because your peace is important, right? So the pandemic give people a lot of power back in their hands to realize, hey, I know what I'm worth.
Yeah.
And I know the reason why this company XYZ is successful is because of the value that I bring to this company.
That's right. That's
So
true.
now it's our turn to say, hey, this is what we're asking for.
And the pandemic did show everyone, like,
It did.
you know,
It did.
it felt good to sit at home.
Yeah.
It felt great. Like,
Yeah.
some people was like not liking it because, you know, at the end of the day, they didn't have a job to go to and they wasn't making the paycheck. But it actually showed people like how great it felt to just be in your home, because we're in our jobs more times than we are in our own homes. We sit at our jobs more times than we sit on our own couches.
That is
So
true.
it's like
That is true.
everybody that got to stay home, that had the benefit to stay home, to kind of feel that freedom a little bit.
Yeah.
That, I'm sure that was a great taste, but
It was.
it came to like us, you know, quote unquote, you know, first responders, basically.
Maintenance techs are first responders.
That
we are super essential.
Yeah, we are
know,
like we are the essential workers. So
the world can be on fire. Everybody evacuate. Maintenance
we didn't
technicians
get that.
stay.
We didn't get that luxury. We didn't get the luxury.
Yeah.
People at grocery stores didn't get that luxury.
Yeah.
And nurses didn't get that luxury. It's a lot of people that didn't get that luxury that had to stay and fight through those battles. And I just think like that, you're right. The pandemic did show everyone exactly where their worth stood at.
Yeah.
And how much they were worth towards these companies to help build these companies. Because once these companies started closing and not making money because people had to stay home,
right,
they were panicking.
Bruh, like they were.
Because they didn't have no one to work. And that lets you know right there. You ain't got nobody to work, you ain't gonna make no money.
You will not exist without your employees.
Yeah, yeah. See, that lets you know right there how essential we are in every aspect. So now, Mike, let's get into some real stress stories.
Dun 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 dun. All right. Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about like give me a story like when you're on call, and you had like maybe an on call or maybe like some type of emergency or something that you had to really deal with some real mental stress.
Yeah.
Of the job that was piling on.
So the on call that I had, which I know a lot of companies, a lot of properties I should say have.
Yeah.
It's always mechanical and it's overlooked, but it's the garage gate. Man. Any company that has a parking deck and you got to get to the garage gate, sometimes the gate it would work and then it would stop working,
Lord,
and then it would work again.
just randomly.
Like, yeah, just randomly it would start working, stop working. So I was home one night, took a shower, about to go to bed. As soon as I got into bed and lay down, phone ring. You have a maintenance call. Press any key to continue. The resident left the following message.
Well, we hear that in our sleep, don't we?
You be sleeping. You have a maintenance.
What?
Oh man, that's just in my head.
Oh man. No,
I
that's
knew it was
facts.
too good to be true.
God damn.
Man. But bro, once you hear that, you already know what time it is, right?
Facts.
And it's time to go out. So the call was the garage gate. Went, reset the garage gate. It worked, right?
Right.
I stayed out there for like an hour. Went back home. Got into bed. Like 20 minutes later, got another call. The same issue, garage gate. I'm like, come on, son.
Wow.
And this person said, hey, I've been out here for 20 minutes trying to get in the gate so I can park and, go to sleep. But the gate is not working and there's a whole line. I mean, there's a long line out here and we have a lot of people out here, right?
Right.
So now in my mind, I'm thinking now that is another stress that's added to me because I'm like, oh man, it's a long line out there. So everybody been waiting for 20 minutes or whatever. What if the person in one of the cars have a newborn baby?
Right.
Or what if another person have someone that's not feeling well? And you start thinking about all of the scenarios for every person that's in their cars, right?
Right.
I got there, bro, as fast as I could, right? When I got there, bro, it was just one person, bro.
Damn.
And they were not even at the gate waiting.
They wasn't there at all?
I have no idea.
She basically parked their car and guessed and then just went on up.
I was like, what? Anyways, I still went, you know what I'm saying? I let the gate up and I shut the power off to the gate, right? So
Yeah.
it can stay open until the following day. Well, it was about 2 in the morning. So a couple hours, the office opens at 9, right? And we are there at 8.
Right.
So I had 6 hours to sleep to come back to take care of it. By the time I get home, you know what I'm saying? The time that I would get to my REM sleep, I should say, I can't sleep anymore because now I'm awake.
Yeah.
I have to lay down there and try and fall asleep.
Yeah.
After going through that, right? Still got to wake up the next day. Not the next day, the same day because it's in the
early
AM.
morning. Yeah.
Got to wake up a few hours later to go to work and perform at 100%. And I can't complain about how I feel because, hey, you have a job to do and that is part of your job description. You're supposed to do that.
Yeah.
We don't care how you feel. That's what the company expects of you. And when you accept the offer, it's in the contract.
Right.
These kind of things, right? So now you're going corporate on me, having all that corporate lingo. You can't get a donut.
Hey, dude, for real, don't hit me with that corporate lingo.
So now you're hitting me with a corporate lingo. Right? You clearly take all of my frustrations and threw it in the trash can.
Yeah.
Because you don't care about that side of me. The only part that you care about is the work that I can produce.
That's facts.
And that is with a lot of companies throughout the United States, right? I can't speak for other countries because I don't live there. I live here.
Right.
And especially in the apartment industry. And that is how a lot of stress is been produced too.
Yeah.
Because there is no empathy at work.
No, not at all. Not at all.
None.
And I've dealt with, giving 110% to, previous companies that I work for. And I mean, like, whether it's on call, whether it's, me just staying late. Cause like, I work for companies where we had to do a lot of stuff in house. So
Yeah.
we would have to punch units, paint units, clean units. And when I've had too much stuff to throw on the cleaner's plate, I would get in there myself, bro,
And do
and
it.
clean units. I mean, I've seen a unit from a move out to me getting in there, trashing it out, to me getting in there painting it, to me getting in there the next morning and cleaning it. And I mean, clean. Like when we got into the episode about how the cleaners clean,
Yeah.
like I understand how the cleaners clean and I understand what they look for because
Yeah.
I've had to do it.
Yeah.
And for me to be doing all of that, and I was been on a more than one type of basis type of thing,
Mm-hmm.
and for me to do that and work for a company that didn't value that, like bro, that
sucks.
leads to real burnout. And
Yeah.
I've been there dealing with that type of stress, dealing with burnout. But the thing is also too, I did that because the company that I was working for, we had free rent. So me, I felt like it was my obligation since I was there with free rent that I was obligated to handle a lot more things in house. So I feel like that stress that, they throw on you, well, you kind of throw it on yourself also because now
Mm-hmm.
you want to step up and be at this higher level and you want to perform at a higher level.
Right.
And
Right.
it's like it goes unnoticed.
Yeah.
And I think they look at it like, well, since I'm giving you free rent, then this is justified.
The rent is free, but we can
Yeah.
make you work for it.
We want to make you work for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've dealt with a lot of burnout, and I've been in situations like that, and like with you with the on call, I've had the same thing where
Mm-hmm.
I get out there, it's working, it's not working, I fix it. Like even with the AC. So you know how we have to when the shutoff valve gets full of water,
Right.
and you go out and you do the call, clear it out, go back home. Same call comes through 30 minutes later when you finally laid back down to get some rest. My AC's not working again.
I had that last week, bro.
Bro, talking about stress and then having to
Yeah.
show up the same day that not next morning, the same morning,
Mm-hmm.
and be like, man, I was just out here 2 hours ago. That's the type of stress we deal with.
Yeah.
And people don't know that takes a toll on our mental
It
health,
takes a toll, bro.
on our
It takes a
bodies,
toll.
our minds, everything.
A lot of the stress for maintenance techs and supervisor
Mhm.
happens during on call.
Yeah.
Most of the times. A lot of the stress from the leasing agents and the property managers and assistant property managers
Mhm.
comes from disgruntled residents.
Yeah.
So both of us are handling a lot of stress, but it just comes from two different places.
That is true.
It's come from two different places.
That is true.
Mhm.
So we've discussed like these things. So let me ask you, Mike. How did you make it through, or even did you when you face like a challenge of having burnout, feeling
Mhm.
unappreciated, working, you're behind off,
Mhm.
and you've gotten to that level of burnout? Like, how did you overcome it, or were you able to even overcome it, or you just like you threw in the towel?
Man, I almost throw in the towel because this is my personality. If I'm at a place of work and I feel like it is not benefiting me the way I want to,
Mhm.
especially when I'm giving it 120%,
Yeah.
I am quick to get in my car and leave without giving notice. I'll just
Right.
leave and go find something else that would make me happy,
Mhm.
right? But now, now I'm married,
Yeah.
so I have to think about me. I have to think about the wife.
Mm-hmm.
Her problem now is mine,
Yep.
and mine is hers.
Absolutely.
Two different personalities under one roof. Now you're doing checks and balances together,
Yep.
and I can't live the nomad lifestyle that I used to live before. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I know what you mean.
yeah,
You can
bro.
get up and move and
I can't
just
get up and move.
go at any time you wanted to.
Yeah, I gotta think
Um,
about all of that stuff before I even make a move, because now every move that I'm making, it has to be calculated,
Right.
right? So how I get out of that is due to the wife that I have, bro.
Yeah.
And a lot of us don't have, this is true, a lot of us don't have spouses that are supportive,
Mhm.
that are really supportive, right? Because everybody has to deal with their own stress. They don't have time
Right.
to pour into you and try to solve your problem.
Right.
But the big my biggest supporter is my wife, bro.
Mm.
My biggest supporter. She's the one that got me through
Yeah.
the the hard times, bro.
Shout out to the
And
missus.
yeah, shout out to her.
Shout out to the missus.
Facts, bro. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and we've been there for each other. And because I have someone that I can come home and talk to
Yeah.
when I'm not feeling my best, and because she has someone that she can come home and talk to
Mm-hmm.
when she's not feeling her best, we find ways how we can balance out each other. You know
Yeah.
how what we can do to make each other's lives a little lighter.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever the job or something that happened on the job make us feel burnt out or make
Yeah.
us feel like, I can't do this anymore. I need to do something else. I need to just call it quits,
Yeah.
move on to something else. You know, she has been my anchor to tell me, hey, keep going. This is not the end all be all.
Right.
This is just a pit stop
Mm-hmm.
on the way to your destination, right?
Right.
On the way to your end goal,
Yeah.
the big finish. So because of the support that I have gotten from my wife, Chantel. Um, yeah, I have bro, I feel like I can overcome anything.
That's what's up.
And besides that, I'm also a religious person and I pray a lot. So my wife and God, bro, brought me to a lot. If I wasn't married,
Mm-hmm.
I promise you,
Yeah.
bro, I start a job today and next week. If I feel like it is not conducive to my mental health and
Mm-hmm.
my well being, I am out.
Right.
But because I have the support from her, she is teaching me how to grow, how to be better,
Mm-hmm.
how to manage my emotions. Because on the road to success, you have to learn how to manage your
Oh,
emotions
absolutely.
in
Absolutely.
every situation, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the support that I'm getting from her and other techs like myself
Mm-hmm.
or leasing agents or whatever, the support that we get from our significant other,
Oh, it's
we should
important.
get that same support from our jobs.
Absolutely.
Prioritize mental health.
Yeah.
Don't wait for a month to happen. Oh, this is Mental Health Awareness Month.
Mm-hmm.
Because you wait until a month happened then to celebrate something
Yeah, we've
and
been
bring
going
something
through it
to the
all
fore.
year.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
This is Mental Health Awareness Month and the color is purple.
The hell?
I don't get it.
Yeah.
You are associating trauma and problems with colors. It makes no sense. That's not a solution. So if
Yeah.
I wear purple, that means everything
I
is going
feel
to go
better
away.
now. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it takes much more than that.
So Mike, it's something that we did not talk about.
Yeah.
This is one thing I want to talk about. And it's important because
Mhm.
this is what adds extra stress onto your life as a
Right.
maintenance tech, because
Right.
we've seen it happen time to time again. And
Mhm.
and what I'm about to say is this, and we've all dealt with it. I'm sure all of
Mhm.
us dealt with it. Residents calling the office, and I'm just gonna flat out say it, lying about you, breaking something of their personal belongings or leaving lights on when you went in there to do a work ticket.
Bro, we've had that a lot.
Do you know how much stress that causes in a maintenance tech's, job when you call the office and you
Being
say
dishonest. Yeah.
yeah, being
Yeah.
dishonest? Because one thing we know,
Mhm.
whenever we do a work ticket, lights are off, doors are locked, and we don't knock down nothing. We're working in one area that we go to, and that's it.
Mhm.
So it's like I say that because we're talking about mental health, and a lot of that does a lot of it does go back to our residents.
Yeah.
So, don't be dishonest about certain things. That's all I want to say.
No, that is true. That is true. Like we had a work ticket two work tickets from two different residents.
Yeah.
Who were very honest. Like, hey, I mistakenly break this thing and I try to fix it.
Yeah.
But I'm having difficulty just, putting it back together.
Mm-hmm.
I read that ticket, bro, and I was like, oh snap, this is refreshing. And a lot of residents should start doing this,
And not just saying,
yeah,
this broke. Such and such broke. Explain if you broke it, it's okay to admit that you broke it. You know what I mean?
You're not going to be reprimanded.
Yeah.
You're not going to.
We're there to fix issues in your homes. We're there to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
But also when we're there to fix it and we leave out, do not be dishonest about us leaving on lights, because we don't do that. Mm-hmm. I've walked in residents' home and lights were already on, and I still turned them out before I went out, because I don't want to get a call to say, hey, you left on the residents' lights, and now they're asking for a concession on their rent because now their power bill is high because you, quote unquote, left on one light.
And now you are paying for a problem that you didn't even create it.
That part.
And now the rest of the staff, it depends on the employees that you have.
Yeah.
They can look at you a certain way, and now you have to walk in pins and needles and eggshell.
Yeah, because it's like, well, we already got a complaint about you leaving on lights, and now we got a complaint about this, and now your head's on the chopping block.
And now you're being dishonest and trying to defame my character.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, you are putting my job on the line.
That part. All right. That's true. So that's all I wanted to say about that. Let's get into our next segment. Let's talk about what support looks like.
Support.
What does real support look like?
Real support looks like having compassion.
Mm-hmm.
Not only owners having compassion for their employees, but also employees having compassion for each other.
Right.
Respect is one.
Big on
it's
respect.
The major one, the foundation of it all.
Big on respect.
Respect, have compassion, and always be willing to lend a hand when it's needed.
Mm-hmm.
Always. Because I always say this, everyone that you meet, treat them with respect, because everybody is fighting a battle that you have no knowledge about.
I agree.
And the way you treat that person, who knows? Sometimes in life, bro, life works out this way. It's in some crazy way sometimes, right?
Right.
Later on down the road, you can be going through the same problem at a different location.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time that you're going through that problem, the resident or that person that you treat bad would walk past and wouldn't help you because they remember how you treat them.
That's facts.
People remember how you make them feel.
That is facts.
They remember how you make them feel. So with that said, I encourage all property owners to do right by their employees.
I agree.
Do right.
And by doing right, we mean give us more access to resources.
Yes.
That's a big thing. We would like to, be able to purchase tools and get tools, because, everything that we pay for is out of our own pockets when it comes to tools. It would be nice for you guys to, at least kind of help us save a little bit of money and buy tools. We don't get paid a lot anyway. You know what I mean? So
you have to take that to pay the bills, plus get tools to to perform the job. All of that stuff adds to the stress that you're already experiencing.
And I've left tools in residents' homes where I've had a hectic day where I'm getting pulled in 1,000 different directions and I'm doing work tickets, and then I get a call and all of a sudden I gotta pack up my tools and leave, and I've left my screwdriver, or we don't got cheap tools. A 10-in-1 is a Klein tool, and that's a good 10-in-1. That's like $20-$30 sometimes.
Easy.
Depending on how many you got, a 5-in-1, 10-in-1, or whatever in one. access to having, resources like that is important. Also too, getting breakfast and lunch is a good thing. But what's better than that compensation?
A paycheck.
Paycheck is much better. Like we're always, no matter what, like money. People say money don't solve everything. In my opinion, it does. It solves a lot.
Money is right up there with oxygen.
Yeah. You need money. You can't live. We need money to keep a roof over our head, to have clean water, to have clean clothes. Like it's up there.
Yeah.
So pay us for that. You know what I mean? And if you can compensate a lot more for that, that will take a lot more stress off of our backs, and we can, kind of, get our lives in order the way they need to be, and we can come in and do a better job than what we're doing now. Because when we don't have much to stress about, now we're fully in our jobs and we can perform at a higher rate or at a higher level than we ever could before.
And because they show that they care by extending gratitude and empathy towards you,
right?
Now you will show them in return that you care. So now it will encourage you to do your very best to make sure that the company is successful,
right?
And you are being successful not only by the work that you've done or the work that you're doing, is because of, once again, how they make you feel.
Right.
They make you feel like, hey, you are a part of this. You belong here. We need you here.
Yeah.
It goes both ways.
It
Not I need you.
Ways.
We both need each other.
We need each other.
We do.
And that goes back to like a bunch of talking points that we've already had, like through the conversation we've talked about, encouraging mental health days.
Yeah.
We talked about having a safe space to check in and for burnouts. I know some people, like you know how you want to have a safe space and you want to have your employees come in and say, to the supervisor, hey, I'm not feeling well today. I'm dealing with a lot. I need to take today off. You know what I'm saying? And I know sometimes like it can be abused because some people can use an excuse for everything.
That's true. That is true.
But it's kind of like, check the temperature of how each person uses that time. You know what I mean? You don't have to get super personal about it, about your problems, because we all, we don't like to let people in that much. But I would encourage people to take more days if they're not feeling up to par, but don't abuse it. You know what I mean?
Well said. Well said. Because we're advocating for all employees, leasing staff and the maintenance team.
Yeah.
And we're advocating for companies are doing a lot, but there's still more to be done.
Right.
Right?
There's a lot to be done.
Yeah, there's a lot more to be done. And we're advocating for that. So in return, we on the other side have to be mindful as well, and do not abuse the opportunities that have been given to us. You
Absolutely. Well said.
Because you can ask for an inch and the company would give you a mile. But then you would want to take 2 miles.
Yeah. But you know what? That also too, and I know we're kind of like running out of time because we kind of need to cut this short a little bit.
Yeah.
But also too leads to a stigma of like, if you're calling out and you've got stuff that you need to take care of for one day, and then you taking care of some of those things throughout that day, but then you realize like, shoot, I need to take another day. You know what I'm saying? And you're kind of afraid to say, I need one more day. Why are we afraid to tell these companies, I need to take 2 days off if we need it?
Once again,
why is it looked down upon?
Because of the capitalist system, right? You're supposed to work. Even though we give you days off, we don't expect you to take all of it. And whatever goes on in your personal life, you can fix that on your time. This is our time.
Yeah. And
you have property managers that would take time off just because they don't feel a certain type of way.
Yeah.
And they come back from vacation from, let's say, 2-3 weeks, and the next week they're gone again, or you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if people in the upper echelon in the company can do that, you know, the ones on the ground who are the frontline workers, the first responders, they should be allowed to take a day. And if what they're doing requires another day, give it to them without reprimanding them for it, or without making them feel bad that, oh, it's not okay to take this day because you have to do that on your time.
It's like they conditioned us to feel bad about, you know, calling out 2 days in a row. And this is not even in the maintenance field. This is like people in different fields and different occupations
in a general
where they
workforce.
feel bad about calling out 2 days in a row.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
And people are so afraid. Some people would cry
because
they're so afraid to ask.
Yeah.
Because if they ask, their job might be in jeopardy.
And now they're suffering silence on the job.
And suffering in silence can lead to depression, suicide, anxiety. It can lead to a lot of stuff, bro. So companies should really don't wait for a month that somebody classify as mental health month.
That part.
It's supposed to be 24/7, 365.
Yep.
Because when you care enough about your employees' mental health and you are doing everything that you can to make sure that they're always at their best, trust me, you are winning because you are creating permanent employees, long-term employees. Even if they want to leave for a better opportunity, they would reconsider the option because of how you make them feel.
No, that's facts.
Because of how you treat them. They'll be like, you know what? I would go over here and I would get paid, let's say, $200 more than what I'm making now. But the grass may not be greener on that side because even though I'm making less here, the way they're treating me, I feel like I am a part of this company and I belong here and this is my identity. So I will do what I can to make sure that this company grows, because as it grows, I grow with it. That's how employers should make employees feel.
Mike said a lot right there.
That was a lot of preaching.
So with Mike saying that, I just got to let everybody know we got to take care of ourselves. And one question I'm going to leave you guys with today is, what can you do to protect your own peace?
Oh, that's good. That's good. Leave it in the comments and like this episode. If you find this episode insightful, share it with everybody and continue to spread the word. And thank you so much for the support that you guys have given us thus far. Your support,
we appreciate
is encouragement and motivation for us to keep going.
That's right.
And keep doing this thing, because we are in this together, man. I can't stress that enough. We're in this together. So thank you guys.
Thank you guys so much. And this, like I said before, this doesn't just start with maintenance. This starts with everyone in their respective fields. If you are the person that the company really relies on, just know nothing stops without you. And that's everybody in the home.
Like he said, without you, nothing moves.
That's right.
So have a good one, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Love, peace.
Rap.
I should probably go back a few years.
Right. Like, subscribe, and share, man. We appreciate it. Thank you guys for the support.
Oh, man. Oh, that was good. Oh, yeah.
Let's go. Thanks.